Very well. Welcome back. My name is Victor Oloo, and now it's time for us to get into the viewpoint, being a Wednesday with only a few weeks, so to speak, 3 weeks to the polls. And it seems that everything is now tilting towards the general election, with IBC saying that, you know, they are ready for the polls, but politicians will always continue crisscrossing the country in search of votes. Now, today I want us to talk about matters opinion polls and how it affects the election outcome. Is this something that we should trust? What about the leaders? What is their general feeling? Yesterday, Deputy President William Ruto said that some of these opinion polls are doctored in boardrooms by some people to give a different reflection of how it looks like. All right. So with me in studio, I have got two ladies who join me in studio. I have got Winfred Asiko Abuti, who is a Senate candidate, UDP party in Kakamega County. There you have her, and Antonella Karuko, who is a youth leader, Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's Wednesday, ladies' night, and it's an honor to have you on the show. But before we get into the real deal, my colleague Jen read a story here. 15 women raped in Nairobi every single day, according to findings. And according to the story which was ran here by Daily Nation, more than 5,000 women in city raped in past year. NMS recorded 5,589 rape survivors, 52 were infected with HIV/AIDS, 104 got pregnant. Let me start with you, Antonella. This must be a worrying trend.
Indeed, as a woman and as a young woman living in Nairobi, but my worry is that from what you have said, looks like the poll was done in Nairobi. What about the women in Mashinani?
Right.
They're the victims of rape also. Whereby in Mashinani, for example, in a place where I come from, such perpetrators of such acts are always not taken to court, or they are not facing the law, but they decide to settle for settlements like mbuzi, nini, whatever, such kind of stuff. But back to the question of rape and victims of rape. In Kenya Kwanza, with our plan, number one is to always safeguard the interests of women and their security in this country. Because as a matter of fact, women in this country have been victims of so many other things apart from rape only. But like our manifesto says, or the plan says, our priority is to safeguard the interests and the security of such people. For example, setting up rehabilitation centers, setting up counseling centers for such victims. Yeah.
Okay, and you know, when you talk about 5,000 women in Nairobi alone, Winfred, you can imagine how many ladies are getting traumatized, but they still keep to themselves. They don't come out in the open. It means that ladies and women generally are living in a very tough environment as we speak.
Good morning, Victor. My name is Winfred, as you've heard before. I'm the Senate candidate for Kakamega County on United Democratic Party. In Azimio, we are in Azimio. We support Raila Amolo Odinga for president. So first of all, I want to say that is a heinous act that is going on, the rape cases, and it needs to be taken care of, because at the end of the day, women are still part of other people in the society, and they need to be taken care of in a proper manner. Like if you see in our government, when Azimio forms the next government, you can see first of all we have a woman as a deputy president, who's Martha Karua. So for we in Azimio, we support women. We are there for women. We are fighting for women, and not only women. We are working with all walks of life, because we believe everybody matters and everyone's lives matter in this country. So we are not leaving anyone behind. Those people, the perpetrators, should be put to book, so that at the end of the day they can face the law and they can charge in a court of law.
But you see, one shocking thing is that most of the perpetrators are still walking free. And as a woman, Antonella, you can imagine the kind of trauma that, you know, within the city itself. You've talked about what happens in the outskirts of Nairobi, in some regions, in the northern frontier, in the villages outside there. It seems this is a serious matter that needs a national intervention, leave alone even the manifestos and the parties, but it needs a national concern.
Thank you, Victor. It needs a national concern.
Yes.
If you remember very well, during the Kenya Kwanza Women Charter signing, the Deputy President and the Kenya Kwanza Alliance promised that because such rape and other issues affecting women came as a top priority, and that is why Ruto himself promised to form a Kenya Women Rights Agency under his presidency to tackle such issues.
Okay. All right. So as we leave at that, because we just believe that at the end of the day, there's some relevant institutions that will take care of this, because women should be protected nonetheless. All right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So, ladies, opinion polls are coming out thick and fast, almost on a daily basis, with different institutions and even some media houses are carrying out their opinion polls. But let me get your view on this, Winfred. Do you believe in opinion polls, to start with, as a contender in Kakamega County?
Yes, I do believe in opinion polls because some are genuine. Those that are official, they are genuine. And
Yes.
we have others that are cooked by politicians. But so far we have Tifa and others that are very genuine. And for me, I want to say this, like, you know, in politics, for example, those people who have read the 48 laws of power, there's that law that says that you should not outshine your master, which the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has been doing that to the President of the Republic of Kenya. So in this case, whatever is happening, they're just supremacy battles. And at the end of the day, you'll find that if you really try to outshine your master, you'll just find yourself crying in politics. I thought he was a schemer and he was politically smart enough to understand that, but he was not. So I want to believe that the opinion polls that are ahead, because we can see Raila Amolo Odinga is ahead, this is because this is a man who is an African, who has been a nationalist, an Africanist, a person that has believed in Kenya, a person that has fought for us. So him being ahead is not something to, it's not something that should surprise us. It is because he deserves it. He has fought for this, he deserves it, it is his time. For those people who have been in government, they have been there, they have lied to us. So we are not going to return them there so that they can continue lying to us. So the opinion polls that are ahead for Raila Amolo Odinga, they are so correct. And we are so sure that we in Azimio government, we are going to win, because at the end of the day, our manifestos are, they are coherent with the people of the Republic of Kenya, which in this case, when you look at our Kenya Kwanza competitors, they have just, they have duplicated the Big Four agenda of President Uhuru Kenyatta, and now they have put it as their own manifesto, which is just out of order. So I feel like for our opinion polls where Raila Amolo Odinga is heading, we are doing good and we are doing the best, and at the end of the day, we are going to swear him as the next president of the Republic of Kenya. Yeah.
Antonella, what's your opening remarks?
On the contrary, I don't believe in opinion polls,
Right.
especially at this time and period, whereby we have the president, a sitting president, as the campaign manager of Azimio, whereby we live in a country that there is no freedom in agencies to carry out activities on their own. All agencies, including even police and other people, they have been coerced to do what the state wants to do. So in the recent opinion polls, allow me to
No, we cannot verify that statement, Antonella. We can't verify that.
We can't, but on the contrary, I don't believe in opinion polls. Like my party leader yesterday said, these are opinion polls that have been doctored in boardrooms. And if you ask yourself, Victor, how many percentage or what is the percentage of the voters that the opinion polls were used to determine who is ahead and who is not ahead? We have 22 million voters in Kenya. Did Tifa do interviews, or did Tifa get opinions from the 22 million voters, or just a section? And if it is a section, it is from which region?
All right, because you know, in terms of opinion polls, they use methodology and sample size. So you'd imagine if you want to sample 22 million people, it's science combined. But then, why is that becoming an issue right now? And when the deputy president was leading, he never said it was a boardroom kind of activity.
Neither did he say that. He was pro it.
He didn't speak about it when he was in the park.
Yeah.
When he was leading, he didn't condemn the opinion polls.
Yeah, and it was his opinion, not it was his right not to condemn it.
Then why is he now coming out to condemn now that he's now trailing, coming second?
Just like I said,
yes.
When we have a sitting president as the campaign manager of Azimio, if you saw him yesterday in Eastlands drumming up support for the Azimio candidate, Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, anything is possible in this country, and it is an open secret that there is no freedom for agencies to carry out activities on their own. So for the deputy president to condemn or to dispute the opinion polls, it is because he feels like it is not the right reflection of the ground, right? It is not the right opinions of the people. It is a section of the people. You understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, you don't believe in opinion polls?
I don't.
Okay. What about you, Winfred?
To me, I feel like what my sister is saying, she's being sarcastic, because when Jubilee was leading these opinion polls in 2017, the deputy president was the one who was celebrating. So to me, I feel the deputy president is being selfish, because, you know, politicians always say politics is a game of selfish interests. So I feel like he is being selfish.
Which you're so much aware of, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's being selfish because at the end of the day, in fact, the president of the Republic of Kenya is not the campaign manager of Azimio. He's just a member of the Azimio Council. So you cannot say, my friend, you cannot say that the president of Kenya is the one who's managing Azimio campaigns. That is out of order.
It is an open secret.
That is just out of order. You know, when you are leaving a legacy, the president is just trying to leave a legacy whereby, you know, we need a lot of inclusivity in this country. We have seen that leadership in this country, it has always been either in Mount Kenya or in the Rift Valley. You know, in Kenya we have 43 tribes. We want at least another person to come and bring the face of Kenya so that we have equality in this country, so that one part of the country does not feel like they are neglected from the government. We don't want to feel people from Nyanza, or people from Western, or people from Northeastern, or people from even Central or anywhere feeling that they are being neglected out of the government of Kenya. So to me, the president is just trying to leave a legacy to bring Kenyans together, and whatever he's doing is just fostering inclusivity, and he's a man of his words, and we respect him. And actually, as he leaves government, we are so much happy as Kenyans. We celebrate him for what he has done, and we will always respect him for what he's doing right now.
Absolutely. Ladies, allow me to take a break. And when we come back, we're still going to get more into the details of the opinion polls. How does it affect the outcome of the general election? Can we believe them with only 26 days to the poll? So we are taking a break. But when we come back, I still have got Winfred and Antonella with me in studio. Don't go away. Welcome back. You're watching The Viewpoint. With me is Winfred Asiko Abuti, who is a Senate aspirant in Kakamega County on UDP party, as well as Antonella Karuko, who is a youth leader, Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Today is about ladies. All right, so we are still going on with our discussion, but let me come to you, Antonella.
Yes.
Do polls really reflect the real situation on the ground?
No.
No, why?
Like I said earlier, the polls are done in specific regions and with specific issues and to a specific targeted group of people. I will only believe in opinion polls when they will be done to either all Kenyans, be it a political opinion or opinion on other issues, when it targets the entire vote region. Yeah.
So,
because unless TIFA or any other opinion poll agency comes forward and says, we interviewed a certain number of people in this region, we interviewed a certain number of this region, this is the questions we asked, this is the age group we asked, we asked women this question, we asked men this question, we asked the youth this question, but since we don't know the modernities and what was their target group in coming up with the polls, I still don't believe in them, especially when we have a battle between a deputy president. We have supremacy battle between deputy president and the president himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, you talked about methodology, and you know, with all the opinion pollsters and the companies, they are obliged by law that they can actually print their sample size, their findings to the public for them to verify. But Winfred, what's your take on that? You are an aspirant. Do you believe in opinion polls, and do they really reflect the situation on the ground?
Yes, they do reflect, as I aforementioned had said before, that they do reflect. And actually, for example, if you look at the reason as to why Raila Amolo Odinga is leading right now, it's simple logic. You know, like before, like in the recent past, you could not find him getting any support from Mount Kenya. But I can tell you, like, for free right now, we are having a 50-50 between us and the deputy president. And you know, in the recent past, he was not even getting any votes from Mount Kenya. So, you know, if now he is ahead, why should we start saying that it is wrong? Actually, it is absolutely right, because at the end of the day, he is getting massive support from all over the country. From Western to Nyanza to Coast to Northeastern, every part of the country is in Azimio. So if we say that the opinion polls are ahead, why should we say they're lies? They're not lies. This is logical. This is what is on the ground. It is what it is, and we cannot run away from the truth. Yes. What
is the main issue here, Antonella?
Yes.
Why are opinion polls not so much welcomed in Kenyan politics, to be specific?
I'll still keep repeating the same thing. As for me, as someone that is on the contrary opinion,
yes,
opinion polls does not reflect the reality on the ground. Number one, at times, remember this is an agency, and people are in business. People are in there to make money. Allow me to say this.
Sure, go ahead.
For a very long time, opinion polls have been used by politicians, have been paid by politicians to put their candidates either at the front or to have themselves as the leading candidate. So anything can be manipulated in this country. Anything can be doctored in this country, especially for political opinion polls. Yes.
Have you ever done any opinion poll in Kakamega County?
Yes, there have been opinion polls in Kakamega. And I agree to what they have always said. We're waiting now for the ones that will be next. And I'm so certain that I'll be ahead, and I'll be winning the Senate position for Kakamega County. Yeah, I'm very confident. Yeah.
But then now, from what we heard and the opinion polls conducted yesterday, none of the candidates would get the 50+1%.
Absolutely. And
that is a big worry if you look at the two top contenders, that is DP and Honorable Raila Odinga. It seems that with 40-something%, they are not yet there to hit the 50+1 mark. So, as at now, if elections were to be held probably tomorrow or next week, we'd probably go to a runoff. Antonella, how would we, or how can Kenya avoid this?
Victor, I will tell you this without fear of contradiction. There will be no runoff or rerun in this country. William Samoei Ruto is going to win the presidency with over 50%, over 54%. So forget about the rerun. It will not be there.
It will not be there.
Yes.
What about you, Winfred?
A rerun will not be there, because at the end of the day, we in Azimio, we are going to win, and we are going to win with 50+1%. So I so much believe, for every Kenyan who's listening to me and who's watching, for us to avoid this, let them just vote for the right person and let them vote for Raila Amolo Odinga because it's the right person for this country. This country is messed up. The economy is so high. People who have been in government, they have been lying to the youth for a very long time, for 1 million jobs which are not even there. There are so many people out here who have degrees, they do not have jobs. And the same deputy president who have been in the same government is the same person who's still coming to lie to us that he's going to do this and this. Why didn't he do that when he was in government? So I feel like this country needs reconstruction, and the only person who can reconstruct this country is His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga. So at the end of the day, Kenyans who are watching me, kindly vote for Raila Amolo Odinga, because at the end of the day, this is exactly what we need as a country. We need to heal, because people are hurt out here. We know we walk like we are okay, but people are not okay. You know, when you're going to buy unga for 200 shillings and above, you feel so bad. It hurts so much for a Kenyan. So I feel for this country, we need something new. We don't need those people who are there in the Jubilee government anymore. We don't want any person to do with that government. The president said yesterday that the issue that's affecting economically, it's world over. It's not Kenya alone. Yeah, that's okay. But now you see, now the problem is we need fresh blood. We cannot be recycling the same people all the time. We cannot be recycling the deputy president all the time. He is not special. You know, we have so many men in this country who can still lead the country. Yes. What about Raila Odinga? Because he's also running for a position. So you can also say that on Raila Odinga as well.
No, for him, one thing that I will want Winfred to understand is that William Ruto has not been in government since 2018. Since Uhuru and his brother Raila Amolo Odinga took over the government to run it as brothers and to run it as friends, that is when the cost of living started going up. When Raila and Uhuru shook hands in 2018 March, the unga was 90 shillings. Right now it is 200 shillings. Is that the kind of thing that you want Raila to continue? Maybe by the time Raila will be finishing his first term, unga will be 400 shillings. Now let me tell you something, my sister. You know, the deputy president is still earning the salary. He has been earning this salary since that time you're talking about. Why didn't he resign from office? Why has he been saying, oh, I'm the deputy, I'm the second in command? Why has he been walking around telling people he should have resigned by then? If indeed he was man enough, if indeed he was, you know, I respect him. He's presidential material, but it's not his time actually. Not now. Okay. Yeah. Not now. Yeah. So how is it going to be saved? Because at the end of the day, everybody's feeling that pinch. You say that since 2018, after the handshake, everything skyrocketed. But the president yesterday said that the problem is world over. It's not Kenya alone. No. Even in the States, people are suffering. Others are not able to pay rent. The fuel in the United States, 250 shillings a litre. In Kenya, we are doing 160. So it's world over. We cannot blame it to the president alone, right? Victor, if you have gone through the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, what we call the plan, you will understand very well that William Samoei Ruto has a great plan for this country. Yes. Number one, to lower the cost of living. Number two, to ensure that Kenyans have money. There is a circulation of currency in this country. So no matter what will happen, people will still not feel that pinch, because right now people are feeling the pinch. There are no businesses to do. There are no profits. In fact, even taxes. In fact, Kenyans are paying for taxes instead of paying for services and goods right now. And those are the things that William Samoei Ruto has promised this country that is going to look into. What is so unique in the Kenya Kwanza manifesto directly touching on the economy? Number one, the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, we call the plan, was developed with the help of the people through the numerous economic forums that we held in the country. What is so unique about our manifesto is that we have categorized the problems facing Kenya into different categories. Number one, we have a short-term plan, we have a mid-term plan, we have a long-term plan that is to tackle the issues affecting the country. What is unique about our manifesto is that it is a people's driven manifesto, and our main agenda is to ensure that Kenyans have money in their pockets, something they don't have right now. What about Azimio? Are dry. Yes, what about Azimio? In terms of economy recovery? Yes, in Azimio, first of all, we have the
we have so many things that Baba is touching. We have Baba Care, we have the Azimio la Vijana, we have the Azimio la Wamama. We also have one product per county, which means that in every county they are going to have industries that are going to create job opportunities for the youth of this nation.
Yes.
And also at the same time, you will find that everything in this Azimio la Vijana, whatever Baba is talking about as for the youth, he wants us to have jobs, all of us equitably. It does not matter whether you are an Odhiambo, you are a Wanjiru, you are an Afula, you are who of this country, as long as you qualify, you are going to get a job, especially for the youth. You know, you'll find that in this country, it is very funny. Those people who are working in these offices, you'll find that someone does not even have a Form 4 certificate, but they have a very big job. And you know, this is just because of lack of integrity that we've been having in this country. By the leadership that has been there, which needs now to be restored by Azimio presidential candidate. And to me, I feel like the deputy president is mocking these people he's calling hustlers, because at the end of the day, he flies in choppers, he lives in Karen, his children lives abroad, some of them are getting married abroad. You know, you cannot be walking around telling people that you are a hustler, yet you're moving in a chopper. That is just out of order.
I would like to correct you, my sister Winfred, sorry. Saying that people are hustlers does not mean that. Who told you that hustlers are poor? Hustlers are people that wake up every single day to go and do businesses so that they can make money. The term hustler has been misinterpreted by our Azimio counterparts. A hustler does not mean that you are a poor person. And talking about the deputy president's children getting married abroad, that is not a political thing. It is a private matter. And on the other hand is that you cannot choose love.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Can the deputy president sell boga? Can he ride a boda? No, this is mockery to Kenyans. Was Ruto not selling maize? Where did he come from? Ruto was selling maize on the railway line. That is where he came from. Ruto was mentored by Moi, who was a president of this country. He made him who he is right now. There's nothing like he sold something to become who he is. That is lying to Kenyans. In fact, those Kenyans who are watching me, be careful with the leader you're going to elect. Let us not elect liars. We are going to elect Raila Amolo Odinga, who is not lying to us, but we know him, we understand him well. My sister, get things right. He did not sell anything to become a millionaire. He was made by Moi, the president. Thank you so much.
Another thing, Wilfred, you need to understand is that William Ruto right now is a chief hustler. We call him the chief hustler. He's the biggest chicken farmer in this country. He's the biggest cattle farmer in this country. Is that not hustling? Trying to make money out of his businesses, is that not hustling?
Then he should quit government then. Why didn't he not quit being the deputy president of this country?
Why would you want him to quit? Why would you want him to quit? So that the person who swore himself at Uhuru Park should take over?
Okay. So it's about hustler and the dynasty which died. The issue of hustler, the dynasty
died. It's not there. Yeah, we're not there.
It wasn't good for the country. But then when you talk about the issue of having your manifesto being unique on how you're going to attack the economy, because at the end of the day, we need to feel some kind of lightweight in our pockets. How is Azimio going to tackle it within a span of 100 days in office, from your understanding, Winfred?
First of all, Baba is going to create jobs for the youth.
Within 100 days?
Counties.
Within 3 months?
Yes, because to me, I feel like this is possible when we put up these industries in these counties. We will be able to create jobs for our youth.
Right.
You understand that? And also at the same time, the production increases, and then there's increase in income and also in revenue allocation. You understand that? So if there's a lot of money coming to us at the county level, and we are so comfortable at the county level, there's no need of us all of us coming to Nairobi to look for jobs. People don't have to move all the way from Kakamega or from Isiolo to come to Nairobi for them to be rich. We will be at the county and we will still be rich. Yes.
What about Kenya Kwanza?
For Kenya Kwanza, number one, we have what we call the bottom-up economic model.
Yes.
With bottom-up economic model...
Are people getting it right now?
They do.
The model as it is? Because
yes.
it used to be confusing to so many people initially.
It is. So with the bottom-up economic model, number one, the deputy president who is the Kenya Kwanza Alliance presidential candidate has promised Kenyans that he will give tax relief on small-scale businesses, that is the SMEs. On the other thing is that we have the Hustler Fund, which is a 50 billion fund that we are going to elevate and give loans to small-scale businesses to carry out their activities and to do businesses so that people can have money in their pockets and expand their businesses.
Okay, as much as that's been said, but let me come back and talk about the women issues now, because you are young women leaders in this country. As all of you, according to your manifestos from different political parties, the future belongs to the youth of this country. So what is quite unique to the women, speaking from Kenya Kwanza's perspective?
From the Kenya Kwanza perspective, number one, actually, Kenya Kwanza is the only alliance that has held a women charter in this country, a charter that was meant to discuss and tackle the issues of this country by the women themselves.
Yes.
That is when the deputy president promised to have the Kenya Women Rights Charter, Kenya Women Rights Agency. On the other hand is that the deputy president is on record promising that his government will be of 50% women. That is why when our Azimio counterparts brag about having Martha Karua or one woman as their presidential candidate, we want to tell the women of this country is that the presidency and the leadership of this country, it is not about one woman, it is about all women.
It's not about one woman, it's about all women.
Absolutely.
What about you, Winfred?
To me, I want to say manifestos are just proposals that people write down, they sit down and write. And we can see, like, for those who are in the Jubilee government, and especially the deputy president,
you can't say
whatever he was reading,
has a manifesto which was launched.
My sister Wilfred has made it clear.
Finish.
Their manifesto, people sat down and wrote it. For them, it is a document. For us, it is a plan that was developed with the help of Kenyans. Kenyans came up with with the issues affecting them, and they gave us the solutions on how to solve them. My sister, maybe your manifesto is something that was sat down and wrote in a boardroom hours. We went around the country, the 47 countries. We have health symposiums, that is health charters. We have held youth charters, women charters, education charters. Ours is a plan. Ours is not a document, please.
So I wanted to say this before she interrupted, and next time kindly allow me to finish before you interrupt, because it is out of order. So first of all, I wanted to say manifestos, like for the one that was in Jubilee, it was never implemented. Some of the things were not implemented, which they were reading to us, especially the 1 million jobs, they were not implemented, and many other things that were not even implemented. The laptops, I have not seen those laptops in schools. And then another thing I want to say, I want to say, for us in Azimio, you asked me about what our manifesto is going to do to our economy, to the economy of this country. So first of all, you will find that Baba is offering safety nets to 2 million households.
That's the 6,000 bonds.
Yes, the 6,000 shillings.
Okay.
The 6,000 shillings to the households. And you'll find that women are the people that are in these households, most of them, or in these poor households. So first of all, they will be empowered so that they can take care of these families, they can take care of their husbands, they can take care of their wives. And another thing, when we are talking about women of this country, you know, we have been living in a patriarchal system for a very long time, where women of this nation have not been at the top of leadership, have not been in government, have not been in many different positions of working areas. So for us in our Azimio La Mama, in Baba's government, women are going to be absorbed. Women are going to work so that they can be able to take care of their families. They can earn income for their families, and also be able to empower themselves and empower other women that are down there. So for us in Azimio, we have women at the forefront, because we understand that women are the backbone of this nation, and women have been neglected for quite some time. So even, yes, we have a deputy president who is a woman, and we applaud Raila Amolo Odinga for doing that. But you can also find that in the Azimio Council, we still have women. We have Charity Ngilu.
She said that in their plan, it's about women, not one woman.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. In the Azimio Council, we have Charity Ngilu, we have Sabina Chege, and we have other women there. So it is not one woman. It is not one woman who is in the Azimio Council. So it means this is somewhere where all women are there. You know, all women will be able to be absorbed by their fellow women into the government. And another thing, you know, like for me as a woman, I am so grateful to my party leader, who is also an Azimio, who is also part of the Azimio Summit. He gave me the position to run for the Senate position in Kakamega, and yet I am a woman. This means in Azimio, we take care of the interests of women. You know, when I was seeing the deputy president walking around with Gashagwa and Mutua, and I just saw men that day when they're going to launch the manifesto. I just saw men, and then I saw the first lady, the first lady to the deputy president. That is what I saw that day only. I didn't see any women accompanying those men even to the podium. So I feel for us in Azimio, women are at the forefront, and women are able to make decisions. Like, yes, we are able to make decisions for ourselves.
Antonella, you know, on the street they say that's a GG.
Point of correction, Winfred, you saw one woman. There were two women. There were actually three.
Yes.
There was Honorable Alice Wahome. There was Governor Anne Waiguru.
But she's running, right?
And there is the deputy.
She's running. She's not in the
Kwale
she's
County,
not in the
Achani. All right. So when you say that you saw men and one woman, it is a lie. At the podium, there were more than 4 women.
Okay. You know, when you talk about women, it's quite an interesting topic, because when you talk about women, they are the backbone of voters in this country. And if women pick and chooses to vote, they will vote to the last woman. But do you think that women are getting a fair share, politically speaking, Antonella? Starting with you.
I will speak of
Living alone, Kwanza,
I will speak of UDA
right.
party.
Yes.
As a party, we have 5 gubernatorial candidates. Ask yourself, how many gubernatorial candidates do Azimio or ODM have? Or even her party, UDP? How many MPs are candidates in UDA and in her party? We have more than 20 in UDA. For women empowerment, I will say that my party, UDA, has done quite a tremendous work in uplifting women, both politically and in the other sectors. Yeah.
What about you, Winfred? Are women getting a fair share, a good deal?
Yeah.
Because when you look at the 2/3 gender rule, it's still, you know, not yet there yet.
Just before you go to Winfred, Victor,
yes.
If you have listened to William Ruto very well during the manifesto launch and when the Kenya Charter Women was launched,
yes,
he made it clear that one of his agendas once he gets into government is to ensure that the 2/3 gender rule has been implemented.
It's been an elusive for a long time in Parliament, and in fact, this Parliament is going home and it's never been affected. I don't know what you think about that, Winfred. Do you get a fair share now that you're an aspirant? But do you think Kenya as a nation have embraced women in terms of leadership positions?
So far, I want to applaud the affirmative actions that have been taking place in the recent past for women empowerment in positions. I want to applaud all those organizations that are supporting women. There are so many. We have national, we have NDI, we have FIDA, we have so many organizations that have been supporting women in leadership. And I can say for women in this country, we are going so far. We have come a long way. And just the fact that we have at least a deputy president for a woman, that is a milestone for us women. We are so grateful. I feel like women, we are going places. And this 2/3 gender rule, you see even in the in these aspirants list that were being submitted to the IBC the other day,
right.
you could find that at least the chairman was telling these parties that if you submit your party and it does not meet the 2/3 gender rule,
I'll have to take it back.
Yeah, you have to take it back. So I feel like as women of this country, we have come a long way, and I feel like we are doing good so far politically, in leadership. We are going places, and I just want to encourage fellow Kenyans who are watching at home, kindly vote for women wherever you are. If you see a woman vying for a position, whether an MCA, whether a member of parliament, whether a senator, whether a governor, vote for them. Because at the end of the day, you know, if you vote as a woman, you're voting for your change. You know, you're voting for prosperity, because at the end of the day you find that we have been sidelined in the recent past, but this time, when at this hour, when the likes of Professor Onyango were nominated in parliament long ago, they fought so hard, but right now you can see so many women getting nominated to parliament, so many women getting to the Senate. I feel like we are going places, and for the first time we are going to have a deputy president who's going to be a woman, and I feel like this country, we are doing so far, we are doing good. And I even saw the other day the president of this country won an award because of trying to implement the 2/3 gender rule. So I feel like we're going places. Which is still elusive. But then now when you talk about Kenya Kwanza and UDA in specific, you said that the Kenya Kwanza Alliance is going to have, you know, women positions. 50% of that. We have 11 positions, in 22 positions in cabinet, that is for the cabinet ministers. And in Kenya Kwanza government, we are going to have 11 women as CSS. On top of the 5 governors that we are going to have as Kenya Kwanza, and on top of the more than 20 members of parliament that sounds so promising. We will have as Kenya Kwanza. That sounds so promising. It is, and we are going to deliver, with no doubt. What if you don't deliver? Because at the end of the day, we'll come back and ask you as Kenyans, this thing is recorded. We'll come back, and I'll call you back here. You will hold us accountable. Yes. That's what we can promise. Okay. And another thing, Victor, that surprises me with our Azimio counterparts and ODM party leader, to be specific, when they shake, when there was a handshake government between him and Uhuru in 2018, the 4 big agenda was ignored or was put aside. They came up with the BBI circus. In this same BBI, the same people that are talking about women empowerment right now were the same people that wanted to take the women representatives from parliament and take them to Senate, to a house that has less legislative powers. Take the powers from the women, the little powers they have as women representative, and take them to Senate as women senators, so that they will just be there. You know, in Senate, there will be less legislative powers for these women, such that these women might not be having a position to legislate on the issues affecting the women. So it surprises me that the same people that came up with that document are the same people now that they are talking about women issues just because they have a woman, the presidential candidate. I want to ask them, when Martha Karua was running for president in 2013, was she not a woman? Let's hold on to that. You'll answer that when you come back. Okay, so... No, just hold. Just hold. Okay. Let's take a break. Let's take a break. We're having a discussion here with Winfred and Antonella. Wow, it's getting fiery. Let's just take some water. We'll be back. And welcome back. Now we are coming to the final stretch of this discussion. I want to take it back to Antonella. Antonella, ask the question you asked Winfred, and Winfred, you take it straight away. Antonella, go.
My question, Victor, is these people are praying in Martha Karua right now that, oh, she's the first woman to be a deputy president. In fact, she's not. The first woman running mate was when during wakati wa kina Ole Kiapi. Were those not women that you guys would have applauded at that time? But my main question is that when Martha Karua was running for president, if you, Winfred, is pro-women, when Martha was running for president in 2013, did you support her? Was she not a woman at that time? The other question is that you guys were supporting BBI document or a proposal that was going to take away legislative powers from women. Why is it that, what was the turnaround in you guys that right now you think that because you have a woman running mate, you think that you are pro-women? You are just supporting one woman.
Okay. She's answered you. Getting your question.
Thank you so much. So first of all, let me just add some insight to what she has about women reps. Women rep position, woman rep, actually it's not women, it's woman rep. Woman rep position was an affirmative action seat that was put in place for 15 years only. And you see, this seat, you know, when she has talked about the BBI, which I'm so comfortable with talking about it because I was a big champion of it, and actually I advocated for it for a very long time. So to me, I feel like when we were going to the Senate, you see, women are always viewed as lesser. You know, if you're putting them to the Senate, you're giving them powers to make bills, to make decisions for this country. You see, now you don't have to always just you always looking weak as a weakling. You always just want to that affirmative. They are only doing away with the affirmative action seat and taking us to the Senate, which I'm very much okay with that, because it gives you the power to make bills. It gives you the power to make decisions for this country. Another thing, you see, women, another thing they were taking away, whatever was happening is this with the BBI. Women, those who are going to vie are the ones who are going to get to parliament, who are the ones who are going to get to the Senate, according to the number of votes they get. That is how they were going to get into this parliament and even into the Senate. So I feel this was good, because it gives you the strength to do something, not just to sit down there and wait. Hey, me, I'll sit here and I'll be nominated. I'll just smile for someone and then I'll be nominated, or I'll just do something. You know, you need to learn. You know, they were giving us the power or the spirit to fight. You know, as a woman, you need to have a fighting spirit. You don't just need to sit there and wait for things to be done for you. Because at the end of the day, you know, if we still continue with that spirit of us wanting people to do things for us, at the end of the day, this is how we are going to live. We will never be empowered, because at the end of the day, we women, especially for me and even for other feminists across the country who have been fighting for women empowerment and even for women to be to have power, it is their will, or it is to their goodness that they see women getting power, or them having the zeal to run and feel like other people of this country, and not feeling neglected or feeling lesser than the men.
Right.
So I think I've answered your question.
You
properly.
have not, because you...
She's not.
I've answered you. She has not.
Okay.
Because
right.
What Winfred is trying to put across is that if women go to Senate, as women senators, they are elected. She's also forgetting that the women representatives in parliament right now are elected.
Right.
And taking these women to Senate, where they don't have the affirmative action fund, is taking powers from them and taking empowerment from them to other women in mashinani.
Let me tell you something. Whatever happens to the women reps, they only get that kitty 140. How much millions per yeah, one something million, you know, that is the only money they get. Unlike, if for example, if you vie for a member of parliament as a woman and you get elected, you see you have more powers. So instead of just waiting for this affirmative action seat, woman rep, I just want to be a woman rep. You know, let me tell you something about women reps. They don't have a lot of powers as you think. They are just in parliament, okay, to represent the marginalized people of a county. That is why they're called woman reps. They're not just they don't have any serious powers.
And you
are still missing the point. That is why
you are not understanding, because
you're still missing the point. I talked about woman senator. I did not talk about MPs. You understand?
Okay, and that is why it was put in the constitution for only 15 years, so that women could be
in fact, this is the last year, and it will not even be there. That woman rep position, it will not be there. So in fact, Baba was helping us by taking us to the Senate, so that it will be permanently. We can get to the Senate permanently if you want.
With no funds.
Yes.
Okay, ladies, let me talk about something here as you come.
But at least you can make decisions for the country.
Which they still do in parliament, though.
No.
Both houses make.
No,
they do, but the last decision is made where?
In the National Assembly, of course, but then
National Assembly, not Senate.
Yeah, that's okay, but you know, in the Senate, you can do a lot. And
Okay.
you know that.
All right, okay. Ladies, let's talk about something here. I can count that all of us are youthful leaders in all our respective positions, wherever you are. Even me, I'm a leader. Where I am.
True,
Okay.
true,
All right. Do you think that youths are getting a good deal? Because when you look at a majority of voters, people who are being called out to come and vote are youthful leaders. Let me start with you, and Winfred, not necessarily because of where you come from. You are vying for a position. And when you look at the number of voters, you're not calling on Wazena or Mama, you're calling on the youth. But is it promising to them?
First of all, thank you so much for that question. I want to say this. You see, the greatest youth leaders in the whole world, when you look at Malcolm X, when you look at Nelson Mandela and others, they were young when they started doing great things for their countries. So I feel like we, the youth of this country, have been at the periphery for a very long time. We have been the stone throwers, we have been the bloggers, we have been the vloggers, we have been the ones who have been abusing the other politicians. We are the ones who have been used. We are the ones who are being used to do heinous things in this country, especially in politics. So I feel it is just enough for us to be at the periphery, and we need to be at the decision-making table. We need to be at the decision-making table for us to formulate policies and even implement them so that they can be able to help us as the youth of this country. And if you come to Azimio, I am so grateful, especially when you look like at the party like ODM. This is a party that, if you look at that list, there are so many young women that there's Fikrini Jacobs, who has been nominated to the Senate. We have that lady who has also been nominated to the Senate. We have other young people who have been nominated to the Senate. They're all young. These are people we have been fighting together the cause with. So I feel like for us in Azimio, the youth are really being well taken care of. Unlike in our other camp, or unlike in Kenya Kwanza, which is not really happening.
She'll speak for Kenya Kwanza. She'll speak for Kenya.
That's okay. That's okay. I was just saying. It was just a by the way. So and for me in my county, as a young woman, I'm 29 years, and I can say with power and with confidence that I'm not asking just for the youth alone to vote for me. No, I am asking for the vote from everybody, because at the end of the day, you don't need the youth vote alone, because when you're going to represent the people, you're not going to represent the youth alone. You are representing the interest of everyone.
Okay.
I have to ask for the votes of women, because I am a woman.
Right.
I have to ask for the votes of the older people, because they are my fathers. I have to ask for the youth, for the vote of the youth now, because now, if I am representing them, and if they are voting for me, I am going to speak for them. I am going to formulate policies that are going to help them do the correct things.
Antonella, you are a youth leader in Kenya Kwanza. That must be a very big position you are holding.
Absolutely.
All right? What is the weight of that position, to start with?
I would not like to talk about the weight. Let me go straight to the point on whether the youth of this country are getting a fair share, starting from myself. I'm a youth, and I'm a youth leader in an alliance, a Kenya Kwanza alliance. That already tells you that the youth in the Kenya Kwanza are empowered.
When I talk about the weight, I mean you are rallying the youth of this country to work with you. That's what I'm talking about, how heavy that position is, because you're trying to bring the young people together.
It is a heavy position, and it's a position that I pride in, and I have managed to do 1, 2, 3 for the youth of this country.
Yes.
Recently, on Monday, just before the launch of the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, we had a youth charter, which I was part and parcel with, together with other fellow youth. So it is not an easy task, but we have promised, and we have gotten promises also by the youth of this country that they are going to vote for Kenya Kwanza presidential candidate. On the issue of whether the youth of this country are getting a equal share, is that I will speak about UDA party and Kenya Kwanza as an alliance.
Yes.
Number one, the youth in UDA and Ruto himself has been at the forefront advocating for women and the youth. I will give you some few examples. In Nandi County, we have a woman representative who is a youth, Cynthia Muge. In Kirinyaga County, we have a young lady, Wakilinjeri, 29 years old, actually 28 years old, who got a UDA ticket for a woman reposition. We have a young woman in Bomet County called Lynette Elias Toto. She's a young woman who has been empowered politically by UDA. You go to Nyandarua, we have a senatorial candidate. You go to Kiambu, we have a senatorial candidate. You go to Trans Nzoia County, we have Alan Tesang, a young youthful leader. So for Kenya Kwanza, I will say that with the youth of Kenya Kwanza, we have gotten an equal share. Like our counterparts in Azimio, they have been depending on nomination slots. For us, we have been empowered politically to go out there and seek votes. And on the other issue of on the executive is that with the youth charter, we sat down with William Samoei Ruto, came up with issues that are affecting the youth.
Yes.
We actually demanded for a stand-alone ministry for the youth, which we have been promised we will be given if William Samoei Ruto is going to be elected president. Anyway, he's going to be elected president. And that ministry is going to tackle youth issues alone, and it will be a youth-led ministry. So in Kenya Kwanza, we are sorted.
Kenya Kwanza, they are sorted. Azimio?
Azimio, we are sorted because, you know, I really pray, and I'm praying so hard. This is a prayer that I make every day, that Baba becomes president. And I'm so certain that he's going to be the president. So me, for us, and if he comes back, he becomes the president, I really want him to implement the BBI, where, for example, he was talking about whatever he was promising us, the youth in the BBI. He was talking about the tax holiday. You know, if we're having a tax holiday, especially for youth who are doing business like me, we will be able to do our businesses in a proper way, and this will empower us economically. Another thing, he was talking about the health reforms. You know, we really need these help reforms, because you see, not everyone that has gotten help has a job. You know, so many people that have gotten these loans have not even been able to pay these loans. We need, he had also promised us making the National Youth Council to be formal. You know, like right now it's just in Parliament, but it's not a formal It's not a formal organization. So if this becomes functional, it will be so powerful, and it is going to help us as the youth of this country. We can be able now to make our decisions independent-mindedly, instead of just waiting to be pushed by party leaders. So I feel in Azimio, for us, we are sorted, we are good to go, because after all, if I have seen so many of my fellow youth who are in Azimio, they are at the decision-making table. I feel like we are doing good. And also, if we get jobs like the one that Baba is promising us for the youth of this country, not just for the youth in Kenya Kwanza alone, because when he'll be leading this country, he'll be leading all of us. I feel like we are sorted. The youth of this country are sorted. This is a good deal for us as the youth. This is the only time we can get a fair share of the government. This is the only time we can get employment without being...
Ladies, I'm told that you are almost coming to an end, but let me come to Antonella. Is there hope for youthful population of this country?
There is. In Kenya Kwanza,
regardless of the party affiliations, and, you know, regardless, is there hope for the future of the youth of this nation? Because you can imagine every year, universities, you know, get almost 500,000 graduates out there. So you can imagine the number of jobless Kenyans seeking for those positions. Is there hope for the youth?
Victor, there is hope for the youth, because number one, we live in a generation whereby the youth of these days knows what is their right and what is their share.
Yes,
the youth of this country right now, they are no longer depending on white-collar jobs. The youth of this country have gone out there to do investments, to do innovations for themselves. So at some point, my friend Victor, you will understand that white-collar jobs is not an in thing for the youth of this country right now. That is why William Ruto came up with the 50 billion Hustler Fund, to ensure that the youth of this country get finances to start their own businesses and get empowered economically. Yes, absolutely. There is hope.
All right. Okay, I'm coming to a close, but then slightly, you're running for a Senate seat in Kakamega. I was in Kakamega 2 weeks ago, and it's an amazing county, so to speak. But let me come back briefly home. What will you do to the people of Kakamega?
Thank you so much for that question. Number one, the people of Kakamega County, I'm going to push the governor to be able to create jobs for my people in the county, because honestly, in the county of Kakamega, there are no jobs. Most of the people are suffering. Most of the youth of this county, they are so educated and they do not have jobs. Secondly, I'm going to push for the youth. You know, like World Bank did a research in Kakamega, and it found out that the money that comes to the county of Kakamega, especially for the Youth Enterprise Fund, it just comes back to the national government. So I am going to push, and I'm also going to increase my capacity building, which I've always been doing, for these people to get this money so they can do the business, and this money does not come back to the national government. Another thing, women empowerment. You see, for like women in my county, it's just the same thing. They do not even know how to get this Women Enterprise Fund. They are just there, and nobody is even talking about it in the county. The senator has not been talking about it. The governor has not been talking about it. So I'm going to make sure that these women are able to get these funds. And apart from getting the Women Enterprise Funds alone, we have other organizations and even other credit facilities that are giving women money. I am going to ensure that these women are able to secure their social capital with these people, so that they are able to be.
Let me ask you the matter about health. You have got 12 sub-counties?
Yes, we have 12.
12 sub-counties. So what will be your immediate intervention on primary health care? And I'm told that Kakamega doesn't have a referral hospital. It's told at some point. So most people would even cross from Nyanza to Kakamega to Eldoret. That's a long distance, so to speak.
So we are going. When I get to the Senate, I'm going to push the governor to be able to finish the referral hospital, because the plan was there, but it was not implemented correctly. So the governor who's going to come in place, I'm going to push him so that he may be able to construct this referral hospital. And I'm also going to advocate for more allocation of funds to come to Kakamega County, because that is what we have been lacking. Yes, there is a few infrastructural development, but it is not equitably allocated in all the 12 sub-counties. So I am going to do that so that people of Kakamega do not feel like some parts from one region feel like one region is benefiting and the other region is not benefiting. I want that equitable allocation of funds in Kakamega County. That is what I am pushing for, and that is my topmost agenda. So especially on the whatever you've said, the primary health care, we need hospitals at least in all the 12 sub-counties, so that people in the county can able to access these facilities. Another thing, you see, like the NHIF in Kakamega County, most people do not even pay it, because some of them say they do not have the 500 shillings per month to pay. So we are going to push for that. We enable that even if they can be paid for this money. You know, as a senator, I do not have a budget, but you know, you can always push and advocate for something to go through. So I am going to push for that, so that they can be able to get this, they can be paid for this money, so they can able to access the primary health care for themselves. Yes, and even the construction of the referral hospital.
Thank you so much. Antonella, if you have a question for her, of course, wishing her the best, because she's facing the ballot in 3 weeks' time. It's a big issue. A question to her, if you have. Just one.
Winfred, I don't have a question for you, but I have something to tell the women and the youth of this country.
All right, go ahead.
We have 26 days to 9th of August. A day that we will make a decision as a country, either to move forward or to go backwards in terms of political and economic revivals. I'm urging my fellow youth and women of this country, together with my fellow Kenyans, to turn out in large numbers on 9th of August to vote for William Samoei Ruto. William Samoei Ruto is the only man that has a plan to save this country. William Samoei Ruto is the only man that has promised to give a 50% of his cabinet and to other jobs in parastatals to the women of this country. William Samoei Ruto is the only man that has promised the youth of this country that he is going to have a standalone ministry to tackle their issues. William Samoei Ruto has been at the forefront advocating for the economic empowerment of women and youth of this country. Is that not a good reason enough to vote for him on August 9th?
Good question.
Kindly turn out in large numbers and make a decision to move our country forward.
Thank you.
William
Winfred?
Samoei Ruto is the candidate.
All right. Thank you so much. Wilfred, 10 seconds, kindly, your closing remarks.
First of all, I want to tell people out here to always believe in themselves, whatever they are going through. It's just part of life. Things will be okay, because it is not good. Things are not fine. We will be fine. Secondly, I'm asking the people of Kakamega to vote for me on 9th of August, and also to vote for Raila Amolo Odinga, because all we need right now, we need sovereignty in this country. That's all we need. And for a sober country, for a country that is going to be run effectively in a sober way, we can only elect Raila Amolo Odinga to be president.
A perfect way to end this discussion. I've had a powerful, in a very long time, I've never had such kind of a fiery show like I've had today. Winfred, Asiko, Abuti, Senate aspirant in Kakamega County. You've had your, people of Kakamega, you go out there and make your choice on UDP party, that is Kakamega County, as well as Antonella Karuko, youth leader, Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Youthful but energetic ladies in studio. That is the future that we want. All right. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. My name is Victor Oloo. Have a good morning.